Hi class, my name is Amber Creed. I've worked together with Trevor Deacon and Irene Prestridge to create this presentation about typhoid fever. I will be discussing the etiology and history of typhoid fever. Typhoid fever is caused by the bacterium Salmonella enterica typhi. It is a gram-negative bacteria, so it appears red in the gram stains. It is rod or bacillus shaped. It is motile. Its size ranges from 2 to 5 by 0.7 to 1.5 micrometers. Like other gram-negative bacteria, it has an outer membrane, which is a lipid bilayer. Of note, it contains lipopolysaccharides, which act as endotoxins that result in a high fever and toxic shock. Its cell wall has a thin peptidoglycan layer, again like other gram-negative bacteria. Its cell membrane is, as would be expected, made of a lipid bilayer and proteins. Also to be aware of is that Salmonella typhi does have a capsule outside of its cell envelope, which is unusual in gram-negative bacteria. This capsule protects the bacteria from phagocytes in the immune system, which would try to destroy it. It also has flagella, which are peritrichous or randomly placed all over the rod-shaped bacteria, which make it motile. Typhoid has been around for a very long time and has killed many people throughout history. This continues to a lesser extent today. Some historians believe that typhoid was responsible for a plague in Athens, which killed 1/3 of the population. Historians also believe that the settlement at Jamestown, Virginia was wiped out due to typhoid. In 1838, William Budd noticed a poison in excretions and suggested isolating excrement as a way to stay the disease. In 1879, Carl Joseph Eberth described the bacillus. In 1896, the first effective vaccine was developed by Almroth Edward Wright, but was only to be used for military use. Those in the military were more likely to be killed by typhoid than in combat. Between 1907 and 1915, a lady named Mary Mallon, nicknamed Typhoid Mary, was unknowingly responsible for spreading the disease in New York. Irene will tell you more about her later. In 1911, the first vaccine became available, and in 1948, the first antibiotic treatment became available. Now, just for fun, the reason that I became interested in presenting on typhoid was from my recent exposure to it in book form. I had been reading a book to my children that had made an impression on me as a child. Christie is a historical fiction novel written by Catherine Marshall in 1967. It tells of a young woman named Christie who went into the Smoky Mountains to teach school in a poverty-stricken area. An epidemic of typhoid strikes, and the devastation that follows is saddening. This is a quote from the novel. "I would not have believed that the base of our lives could change so quickly. But then neither had I known before what the dread word epidemic stood for. Scarcely a family left untouched by the disease, sometimes with no one left to cook or care for them." In the book, the symptoms of typhoid are described, including hallucinations and the covering that develops on the tongue.